Is Brig actually insane right now? Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa, and I'm joined by the... I want to say magnanimous, but that's just doesn't even make sense.
Hi, I'm here. I'm one amongst many, and we're going to talk all about a hero I was down on for quite a while, but she's sort of starting to come into her own, and no surprise, it's in probably the title and on the thumbnail. It's Brigitte. It's Brigitte Lindholm. And
Brigitte Lindholm.
She's here to help everyone out, and she's honestly not a bad thing to have in your toolkit. Now, Sty, you've been on like this crusade lately on the Overwatch has become a little bit more brawly, a little bit more deathmatchy, a little bit more uncertain, I suppose, in the battle lines. Brig's pretty useful, actually, in these scenarios. She's actually coming into her own a little bit.
Yeah, Brig, so I think Brig, I don't want to say like she's a hidden support because, well, she's not hidden. You can select her on the hero selection screen if you like, but more of like, she's hidden in the way of like, how effective is she? And also hidden in the way of like, is she healing me? Which is another problem with Brig, because when you're playing in the game, yeah, you know Brig has got 3 repair packs you can throw around, and you know when you get hit by one, there's a visual effect, you get extra armor if you've got full HP. It's beautiful, right? You get that burst heal. It's a really good ability. But when she's used all 3 of them, you don't know. So you're like, oh, well, will I get healed by Brig? I don't know. Maybe I'll get the Inspire heal, which isn't that much. I mean, granted, it's a big AoE heal. It's triggered by her causing melee damage, so she can do it with a whip shot. She can do it with a primary fire. It's beautiful. And obviously, she's got a stun as well, which is pretty effective. But heal output-wise, you never really feel like Brig is a main support or a main healer or even just like a really strong healer in any kind of way to keep you alive when a big brawl breaks out. So even though you might say, oh yeah, she's a really strong sort of support in a brawly scenario, is she? I don't know. It's really difficult with her to work out. But where I think she's really, really strong is she can look after the other support really well. And I don't think she is a support you can play all of the time. She isn't like a Moira. She isn't like a Baptiste. She isn't like a Mercy. Or maybe an Anna, although I want to kind of maybe not say Anna so much. But especially those first 3, you can roll those into a lot of different comps. Brig, you can't just take Brig. Like, if you've got, like, a Zen on your team, you can't pick Brig because you're not going to provide enough healing. If you've got a Baptiste and you pick the Brig, okay, that's fine. But what's the enemy team got? Do they have a Doomfist? Do they have a Hammond? Do they have something which is going to access your other support, that is your Baptiste, that you can provide support to? Because Brig was very intentionally by Blizzard, through nerfs to her shield and a shield bash, moved away from a frontline support to a backline support, which you could argue is where she should have always been. So in my head, I see Brig now is a very viable option for you to make a swap to if the enemy team are really heavily diving your backline. And the big thing here is, Josh, is that the way she should have always been played? And it's that good hero design that you swap to her to counter what the enemy are doing. Not just play her all the time.
I like to think so. Here's the thing with supports that I've always said is that as a support main, as a support player, you should have several supports in your toolkit. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to lock in Genji every game as a support player. You can't be like, oh, I'm going to play Baptiste every single game. You can kind of do it now.
You kind of can.
I'm going to lock in Zenyatta every game. I'm going to lock in Mercy every single game. It doesn't quite work like that because the different supports are good at different things in different situations. And Brigitte is good at very specific situations. She's definitely not a generalist, like you said. You can't keep up with healing. If the enemy team just stays at range and blinks away at you, she's just going to throw out her 3 heal packs, not hit anything, and then go, oh, I'm stood here awkwardly twiddling my thumbs waiting for a cooldown to come off, and the other healer's sweating bullets. I can assure you I've been in the situation going, where's the other healer? I can't keep up with this damage.
But you know what it is, though? In the game before that, though, the Brig was super effective because they came against maybe Dive, they came against maybe a Hammond, and they're thinking, oh my god, this hero is super powerful. But then they roll into a Hanzo and a McCree, and then they can't do anything.
Exactly. She's super situational in her usage, but when they do start rolling out with that Hammond, that Doomfist, start jumping into your team, Winston as well, for example, if you start seeing these heroes bubble up on the enemy team, then you can bring her out, and then suddenly she's a bit of a monster. Like, you can actually do a lot with her, and she's more about the crowd control aspect. She's more about the ability to control space, boot people away, and like you said, emergency healing, she's very good at that with the health packs. The biggest issue, and you touched on this 100%, is you don't know when she's out of healing. And this problem exists with Moira as well. Like, Moira has a voice line of like, I need to recharge, and she's like, oh, I can't heal anyone, guys, but it's so quiet and so in the back, I don't think anyone pays attention to it. The same thing with Brigitte. When she's used her 3 health packs, the team needs to know, because what tends to happen is I've tried playing Brig every so often and tried to make make it work, is like, oh, McCree's like peeking around the corner, firing shots, pew, pew, oh, you need some healing, throw a health back, pew, pew, oh, I gotta heal someone else, oh, I gotta heal McCree again, pew, pew, I can't keep healing, oh, pew, and he dies, and oh my god, where's the healer, oh my god, report Brig. Like, it's very difficult to convey to people, you can't do that anymore, I'm out of healing, I gotta recharge.
That's the problem, right? Because her healing just doesn't operate like a normal healer, which is a good and a bad thing because she's got her own very unique kit. She's a very unique support now, and she does have that slot where she can just totally counter what the enemy's doing. And this is why I think she's very much like a hidden support, because you can swap off. If you were playing like Batiste and Moira, and the enemy team are coming into you hard, and they're like using Doomfist, they're using, even Genji or... in fact, let's stay on Genji because she's really good at shutting Genji down when he whips out Dragon Blade.
Yeah.
It's like, no, goodbye, Genji. You're not doing anything. That is really good, but that's only if you swap to the hero. But then you have to pay attention to what the enemy team are doing, because if they start swapping out to hit scan or whatever, then you can't play Brig anymore. You have to swap again. And I know this is what Blizzard wanted Overwatch to be years ago, and they had the beautiful design document. It was like, oh yeah, this game will be great. Everyone will be really flexible and play all the heroes. But no, they'll just pick one hero and play it. And that's why we're making this video, because if you only play Batiste, if you only play Moira, and you're getting destroyed over and over again because the enemy team are diving on you, and believe you me, guys, ball is everywhere. Like, you see a lot of ball now. And also, obviously, Doomfist as well. But she's really good at shutting ball down. She can shut him down. I'm not saying kill him, but you can stop him doing damage. He comes in to your backline. You just shield bash him. You whip shot him away if you need to. Or you just start doing melee damage to him. Because he's not going to kill Brig. Brig's just going to out-heal it.
Very aggressive Reinhardts as well. She's good against those. Reaper, she can kind of push back a little bit here and there and just slow him down and sort of stop him. It basically forces him to use that Wraith form immediately. It just pushes people out. And it's very, very useful. And it's why you started seeing, like, if you watch the Open Division games, it's why you saw a lot of Brig sort of bubble up there, and how it was used was holding tight corners and stopping tanks pushing through, or just pushing out these, like, very, very invasive DPS that want to get all the way into your backline for free. Well, she sort of says no more, and then the other support basically has to play almost like solo support and just be protected by the Brig. It's sort of fulfilling D.Va's role and just babysitting the other support while they can kind of handle everything, whether it's Moira, Batiste. It just depends on, what they want to run. And it is like a hidden power. It's like, okay, I've got to read the enemy team, I've got to react to this, and it's that ability to do that. But like you said, Overwatch has changed from its original design, its original inception. Jeff sat down and realized, oh god, everyone just wants to main the cute waifus. And I don't blame you, they're pretty cute waifus. But if you want to main Brig every game, you're gonna be in for a rough time. But it's also the same that, like, if you're a Mercy player and you want to play Mercy every game, or if you want to play, if Batiste is your waifu and you want to play Batiste every game.
But it's not as bad though. Yeah, that's the thing though. It's not as bad. Like, Brig is so geared towards a very specific role in the game now that she'll either be super effective or she's just crap. And this is a problem. And it's like, you could one-trick Brig. I mean, in fact, there was a very famous player that did get Brig to rank 1 and all this stuff. But like, obviously, if you're like an exceptionally good player, you could generally do inhuman things. But for the rest of us, I could play Brig all day today and have, like, a pretty solid 50% win rate if the team balance and the maps go for me, right? So it's like, oh, the enemy team have got ball this game, or they've got some sort of stupid dive comp. Well, I'm Brig, I'm going to be really good. But the next game I load into, oh no, they've got Ashe and they've got Soldier. They're just going to spam me from range. I can't actually do any damage. Or maybe they've got a Widow and a Hanzo or something, and their tanks are Reinhardt and Orisa. They're just spamming me from range. I can't actually do anything. Then you lose. But if it goes the other way, you win. And it's very polarizing. It's like win, loss, or maybe you get a couple of games where you win. A Mercy, you could make work in situations where it's not favorable for her. Batiste is super strong right now, just works in every situation. He's the best support. But then a Zen, I guess a Zen sort of falls into the way, of Brig almost, but Zen probably still is the worst support, which is a shame to me because I was hoping he would get really strong, because all indications were pointing towards Zen being actually quite good in this world of weaker barriers. But then he suffers from, well, he's Zen, and he just dies really easily. No.
And Batiste does everything he does, but kind of better. Yeah, kind of a problem. Recurring issue.
I mean, that's a good way of putting Batiste, because, amplification matrix is just like a beefed up Discord orb.
Yeah, he does damage while healing. He has a counter to big, powerful ultis. But this is a Brigitte video style.
Well, it is, but like, this is building the picture of Brig, right? And it shows you how this hero now is really effective against certain enemy comps. And what I want you guys to realize is, if you are a support player, you can swap to Brig to just shut the enemy down. All you've got to look for is like very simple tells, like, who's their main tank, Josh? Oh, God, it's a Winston. What's this Winston probably going to try and do? Well, he's probably going to try and jump in, isn't he? If they've got Winston and Ball, oh, my days, we're going to need a Brig here. Now, of course, you won't know this at the start of the game, will you, right? You're not going to see what the enemy team comp is. So if you just roll out with a Brig and then you've got a Brig and a BAP, it could work. But if the enemy come out with, like, I don't know, Farah Widow or Farah Hanzo, well, when you die, because you will die, you then need to swap your hero. And that's the main thing I'm trying to get across here.
Yeah, she needs to be the support's best friend. She needs to be in your back pocket. And this is what I was getting to with the rambling point about waifus, is Brig should be your secondary waifu. She should be in your back pocket at all times. And if your main ain't working and you're going, oh God, I'm playing Batiste, but I'm still dying to the Doomfist every 2 seconds, and I have another, like, what I would call big healer, big impact healer, like a Moira or an Ana, I'll go, oh, I can just swap to Brig here and solve a lot of our problems. And sure, we lose a lot on the healing front, but we gain so much in the tanking and durability front. And I think she's kind of ended up in the place that she was meant to be in, like, ultimately. And this is kind of where she always kind of belonged. And it's kind of good to see that actually working out, I suppose. Now, maybe they need to make her a little bit more generalist. Like, the only thing I would like for her is the ability to trigger Inspire or something else. Just the ability to, you know, occasionally activate that heal over time on something else. But other than that, yeah, actually in a fairly good place.
Kind of like a Batiste AoE heal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, she's interesting. I mean, the thing I guess we could end the video on is why not pick Lucio instead of Brig? Doesn't Lucio do everything Brig does?
Not quite. Like, you don't get kills off Lucio, or rather, if the Doomfist jumps in, you got a Lucio and you boop him out. You don't normally kill the Doomfist; he just gets out. With Brig, you generally can kill the Doomfist, and you can generally sort of do, you know, you can actually stop him and shut him down completely. Lucio's more like a soft counter, I suppose. Brig is more of a hard counter, and I think that's where the two sort of separate.
I think my argument there would be Lucio is not like his position in the team is a lot of different places.
Yeah,
Brig is very much in the back line, so it's very simple. You know, you get it's value, right? You know what you're going to get with Brig. You should be in the back line protecting your other support. Yes, you can push forward when the fight starts going your way, for example. But the Lucio, you know, you need him to speed into the fight. You need him. He's everywhere. If
he's in the enemy backline looking for a play of the game to post on Reddit. Like, that's where he is.
Yeah, he is.
That's what.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope we've convinced you here to give Brig a go, because Brig is pretty damn good in the right scenario, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @Stylosa. It's also @Stylosa on Instagram, and you can find Josh on...
Yeah, go follow me on Twitter, @1_amongst_many. I don't post about too many things, but it's generally Overwatch related. Otherwise, go follow me on Twitch, definitely. That's 100% value, trust me. Twitch.tv/1amongst_many TV.
All right, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.
Bye.